let's talk about AnyColor. So right now, they're going through their investor meeting. Now, most of the information we're getting right now is in Japanese, right? Most of the information right now is in Japanese. But there are obviously Google translations. And obviously, if you put things out on Google, you could just run a translation, which is what I did here. Now, these may not be the most accurate, right? This may not be completely put together. And obviously, there are going to be documents that are going to be translated in the future. So just understand, right, we'll get an official translation, et cetera, in the future. But there's folks out there that are kind of live tweeting AnyColor. They've gotten to that point. And so because of that, you know, we're getting to see some of this stuff. And I'm just reading through some of this stuff, and it's absolutely crazy. Now, this is just a random comment from it. And we're going to go through and have a separate stream where we break down everything. But I just want to read some of the craziness here. So AnyColor is getting grilled by shareholders. So look at this right here. This is great. This is from a shareholder. And once again, these are largely Japanese shareholders, not Americans. This is what they're asking. As a shareholder, I appreciate that you plan to return 30 billion yen to shareholders in the medium term. I understand you've already completed the buyback of 7.5 billion yen. Was that your intention in completing it so quickly? Compared to the shareholder return of 30 billion over 5 years, the scope for investment in human resources and equipment seems small. Why not allocate such funds to human resources? Ladies and gentlemen, the Japanese audience and the Japanese investors are waking up. They're hearing this stuff and they're seeing here, wait a second, you guys have a staffing and equipment issue. Your AR Live looked like a giraffe, right? The long neck, the peak quality, right? Why not invest in technology so your 3D doesn't suck ass? Why not invest in human resources so your people get answers, so they're supported, so they have the type of management that they deserve and they need to function, right? This is a question from a shareholder. So this is pretty damning, honestly. So Riku answers with some corporate bullshit, which is, as the leader in the VTuber industry, we are thinking of investing. So once again, I wonder if this is a translation issue. In the VTuber business first, I think the most important investment should be in studios and human resources. Well, here's the rubber meets the road, little baby Riku. Okay? Riku-san. If you're not spending the money, all your thoughts and prayers and everything else doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, if you're not spending the money, all your oh, we think, we feel, it does not matter. It's very simple to hire people. It's not like they don't know how to hire people. They're very well aware of that. Every company is available to do that. The fact that cover exists, just shows how shitty Niji Sanji is running things, just existing. Once again, cover doesn't have to do much to win other than exist and not be a black company, right? That's pretty much all they got to do. But the point of the matter here, they say, okay, the studio is included in the balance sheet. I think the allocation for personnel will come from operating expenses. Well, okay, but you're just talking about where things are on the balance sheet. If on the balance sheet you have a buyback of 7.5 fucking billion yen, and what did that get them? Guys, that stock buyback, what did that get them? Let's go over here and look real quick. Did I close the tab? Okay, hold on. I'll reopen the tab here. Reopen the tab. Here we go. Look what that buyback got them, guys. Look what that buyback got them. Absolute dog shit. This is when they did the buyback on June 13th. So they went up. Oh my God, we're back up at 2,800 yen. Oh shit, we're all the way back down again to 2,400, 2,500 yen, right? And mind you, we're nowhere near 7,000 yen, almost 6,300 yen that we were years ago. This is a horrible, This is the 5-year chart, right? Which is also the kind of max chart for them. It's not looking good. Their graphs, their statistics are looking very bearish, right? They couldn't even get it up for 5 minutes. It's like they popped a Viagra. It literally is a good comparison. Is they popped a Viagra and they were still soft. Okay, that's how bad Niji Sanji is. They can't even get it up with stimulation. It's pretty freaking bad. I mean, for a stock, it's really bad. So really crazy with the allocations here of money. And it just shows their priorities are misaligned. But here's the important part. Here's what you guys came here for. So here's the one I want to talk about. So this is a talk from them about Niji Sanji EN and future overseas expansion. Let's pay attention to this, okay? So I'm going to really zoom in on this one. So they're supposed to be talking about what they're doing because, they've got Cover Corporation to counter. So how are they going to fight back? How are they going to blow up overseas? Riku. In the fourth quarter, we held an AR live show, a 3DW broadcast, and Niji Encounter, a music content where pairs of people create and release songs. From what I understand, most of these things were either bombs or kind of flops or just meh. So, okay. AR Live was watched by more people than we expected. Well, how many people did you expect? 0? Of course, we recognize that there were some changes in our trends of our customers. This is an understatement. Some changes in the trends. That's misleading there, Riku. But we see this as an opportunity to reaffirm that there are a certain number of people who will continue to support us. First of all, we would like to work towards those people. So this is what they're saying. So let's break this down from corporate speak. What they're saying is they are going to focus on themselves and their core audience. So, for example, the Niji sisters, the Fujos, right? They're going to focus on them. What they're saying is they don't give a fuck about expanding. They don't give a damn about expanding the market. They care about focusing on the people that are their die-hard fanatics. And what they're going to do is they're going to milk the fanatics. They're going to give more to the fanatics. They're going to more to the Niji sisters, right? That is what they're here for. It's like if this was Disney and saying, okay, we're only going to market to Disney adults. Now, Disney has said that in not so many ways. They've said it indirectly, but Riku is saying this directly here. He's saying, no, we only care about these people because these are our cash cows, without caring about expanding the market. Because yes, the Fujos and the Niji sisters, all that stuff, they'll pay you a bunch of money. But guess what? You know what pays even more money? More customers that are paying, right? More paying customers. So if you got more paying people in, especially in English, you do better. Now let's go here. In addition, in order to rebuild the relationship of trust, we need to continue to strengthen the creation of content such as tournaments and programs that captivate our customers. I like this interesting phrase here. Rebuild the relationship of trust. So acknowledging that this has been damaged. But I don't think this relationship of trust was damaged because they weren't creating tournaments. I don't think the lack of tournaments is any of the legitimate criticisms of Niji Sanji. I think those criticisms are, frankly, how they operate on a corporate level, transparency, some of their corporate practices. It has nothing to do with whether they create content. See, this is a huge misunderstanding. I don't know. Is he just lying, or are sycophants telling him that this is the issue? I don't think it's content that's the issue. In addition, in terms of revenue, we believe that we have customers from various countries, regions, and cultural backgrounds. So we believe we need to implement measures that are different from those we have implemented in sales domestically up to now. Without saying how they're going to do that, without giving a practical plan, without talking about whether they're setting up actual offices in other countries, this means nothing. These are just words. We believe, right? They believe that they're going to give themselves money for a stock buyback, right? Because that's what they're giving money for. This is just lip service. In addition to expanding sales channels and acquiring clients to sell to, we would like to take a slightly different approach than we have used domestically. Okay, so saying you're going to be a little bit different internationally. Now, here's the money shot. Here's the part where you guys come to legal mindset and where we're going to talk about and we're going to focus on for a second. Regarding the slander overseas, we will refrain from disclosing the details of specific cases here, but we are currently working with overseas lawyers to consider countermeasures. In the future, we plan to continue to implement more effective countermeasures, just as we have done in Japan. So let's be very clear. These people, this says a lot. This says a lot. First and foremost, regarding overseas, the first thing that should be considered about legally is whether they're violating international law regarding labor law, regarding contracts, which they are. And instead of resolving the fact that they are pretty much operating illegal, unenforceable contracts against overseas employees, they're working on trying to use foreign attorneys to sue, to intimidate, to silence people overseas. Now, I have already seen, and I'm sure you guys have seen some, of these cease and desist letters. Now, I think we saw one with like Raziel, the cease and desist letter, from a U.S. attorney, right? So they're starting, Niji Sanji is already starting in the form of cease and desist letters to with foreign lawyers and sending those out from foreign law firms. They're now going to consider using this abroad. And I've got to tell you guys right now, I am concerned about this because despite some lawyers being good people, there are lawyers out there, even in America and Canada. I know this is shocking. Will take the money and sue for anything. And they will, even in a case where the law is against them, even in a case where it's unenforceable, they will file complaints, they will file actions, right, that are completely unjustified in the law. And this is something I see and I cover because it sickens me. And I like to expose this stuff on social media because often that's actually the most effective weapon against them. When they're exposed in the light of social media in the public eye, they often back off or back down or their shit is exposed, right? It's actually often more effective to expose them in social media than it is to fight them in court because they're just going to drain you of resources. It's a resource battle. They have millions or billions of dollars, right? You're just a dude or a girl or whatever, and they're suing you, right? And they're trying to drain you of money. So often the best thing to do is to call them out in these practices. I am deeply concerned about this. I do think they will try to silence people. I do think they will try to come after YouTubers. I do think they will try to silence people that are making videos that they consider to be slander under Japanese law. They're going to run up against something called the First Amendment. And somebody, I don't know who it's going to be, but somebody is going to have the backbone to just stand up to them and say, you know what? I'm tired of your bullshit. And they're going to sue and they're going to actually pursue it. And Niji's going to get blown out in court. They're eventually going to take a big L on this. And the PR disaster they would get from suing an individual trying to crush them with their legal power would be insane. There will be a lawsuit eventually involving Niji Sanji. Give it enough time. There will be a suit. By the way, lawsuit, I just mean like a joke lawsuit, as in Niji Sanji files a lawsuit that absolutely is garbage under American law. Some lawyer that's just a hack files it. And somebody raises enough money, right? Because they underestimate people's support for their Oshi, right? They underestimate the love of the fans. The fans come out, fund a lawsuit, and blow Niji Sanji out of the water, right? And not just that. I think there'd be a coalition of the willing to stop the axis of evil, which is mostly Riku, and Riku, and fight them, right? I think that would happen. So I am genuinely, I say this like really authentically, I am concerned about this. I really think this has the possibility for them to go after people. I mean, I was talking with Rima behind the scenes. It's like, I could see them going after people like False. I could see them going after people that are covering stuff because it's something that's not in a favorable light to them, and they consider it slander. And they consider it slander. I can see that happening, and them trying to do that. And eventually, when they come after somebody that has the will to fight back in the community to fight back, they're going to be in trouble. You know, we'll see, right? All you know is I'm going to keep a close eye on this because I really do feel like they're going down this road, and they may feel cornered. They may feel backed into a corner, right? Because they don't understand, because they don't have a robust understanding of the English market. They may be scared now, and they're reacting like a cornered animal, right? That can't understand human language, like, because they haven't taken the time to try to become human, to try to learn, to try to be anything other than a corporate monster. They only know one path. They only know one way of acting, and that's the way they're going to continue with, which is really, really unfortunate.